Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel, and today is a special kind of session because Flora, well, if you are tuned into my last video you might have seen Flora. Well, today Flora and I is going to be talking about women empowering other women. Like, we're going to be discussing challenges and things that women go throughout our time period, and how it affects us, etc. So today Flora will be mostly talking, but I'll be right there with her hand in hand.
So today we're going to discuss a very annoying yet important subject, which is women constantly putting each other down in various aspects of life, let's just say. This is something that I believe every single one of us was gonna deal with at a certain point in life, and you're most probably gonna relate to this in some aspects. By the way, we do realize that men put other men down as well, and women put other men down as well, and men put women too. But we're just focusing on this specific subject because this is a very, I'd say, particular way of just discouraging each other, constantly cutting each other's wings, if that makes sense in English. Yeah, is there anything you would like to add before we start?
It does make sense. Yeah, I have a lot of challenges myself that I have been through, still currently going through, but today we might focus mostly on you today, though yes, I have my piece to be said. So we can get right into it, if you don't mind.
By the way, please tell us if you like this kind of sessions on our channels. We definitely will do a little bit more, but is there a specific subject you think would be interesting to discuss? Definitely let us know.
Yeah, so it's gonna be like a season. Like, we're gonna have a few episodes and this, so we're gonna be discussing different topics when it relates to women, empowering other women, and the struggles women faces. So today I'd like to know a little bit about Flora's challenge and things that you'd like to actually talk about, because we all know that sometimes talking about stuff is how we heal and get past them, and keeping them inside makes us sore, make us angry and bitter, and talking about them sometimes do help us to get past these challenges that we face. So today Flora is going to talk about some of her challenges. I will also talk about mine, but today I just want to make this a special day about Flora's challenge. So I want to talk a little bit about her school. Like, Flora, she completed school, but she had some challenges to my knowledge. So she want to talk about stuff that she faces during her time in school. So at university, she had her ups and downs, and she's going to talk a little bit about the things that kind of beat her up during her time going there. So let Flora talk a little bit about her university experiences.
Okay, I was specifically nervous about this one because I come from a place where bullying was pretty much a daily thing for most people. So I could go on for hours and hours talking about many ways, and a lot of people try to put me down somehow. But the very specific story I have for you today is when I attempted to go to film school. Because I did go to film school. And it already is a very men-dominated industry in most places in the world, from what I'm aware. And it has been brought to the people's attention many times that we should give more women chances to become directors, to become cinematographers, to become film producers, because it is a very heavily men-dominated industry. And so I had this one professor. I had this one professor who, since day one, would describe herself as a feminist. which inherently there's nothing wrong with. Obviously, there's nothing wrong about calling yourself a feminist. But in the meanwhile, in the meantime, she was very, very aggressive about everything and about this specific subject as well. So, you know, I kind of thought that maybe if I like just stay out of her way and just, you know, sit in the back and not really talk much during her classes unless asked to, then I would avoid any kind of trouble with this individual. And this is practically what I did until this one time where I had to hand in some homework. And here's the thing. I do not have a Polish education. I have a very good Polish accent when I speak it because my parents are Polish, so it makes sense. However, I have never learned anything in the Polish educational system until like right now, so my writing is very sloppy, I'd say. And she gave us this homework that consisted of writing like a paper. And she specifically said that students with trouble speaking and or writing Polish, which she said in front of everybody, have the right to write this essay in English or in Russian. So I thought, okay, great, like somebody's giving me a chance to like, you know, write my homework in English. This is going to be a huge advantage to me because it's going to take me like a week instead of 4 weeks. So this is what I did, and long story short, she has berated me so much in front of the entire class. She said I tried to humiliate her. She said that I did it to somehow check if her English is good enough. Yeah, and she said that it's basically 100%, it's like an A, but she cannot give it to me until I rewrite the whole thing in Polish. And I said, listen, all that is fine, but there really is no need to like, you know, drag my name through the mud just because you kind of misunderstood me. Yes, exactly, to which she said that, well, I have to have a Polish high school diploma, which I said I don't. Because it's true, because I do not. And if you don't believe me, you can ask me, I can send you like a copy of my diploma, it's very clearly French. And after that happened, basically she told all the other professors that she'll do anything to kick me out of the school. And the entire faculty has told me that because of my horrible behavior towards her, they would have no choice but kick me out unless I apologize.
So, what were those horrible behavior? What did she term as horrible behavior towards her?
So here's the thing, I emailed her because she said this whole thing in front of the entire class except me. So I didn't even have like the right to defend myself at this specific moment, so our entire conversation was taking place via emails. And I said, I do not appreciate you telling me that I'm lying to you without any proof at all. And I expect you to apologize to me for berating me in front of the entire class, then telling me that I lied to you. Why would anyone do this? Like, we're both adults, that's not how you treat an adult. And apparently the entire faculty read that email and said that no, because of this email they have to kick me out of the school.
So it's like they were trying to take away your rights. Like, this was on a more personal level. It's like she not accepting you for who you are. I'm not seeing where you had said anything degrading in this email, but you were defending how you felt.
Yep, and so I told them, listen, if this is how this school is going to work, if you're gonna like threaten me that if I don't behave as you want me to, then you're gonna kick me out, then this is just not worth my time. And so I had to leave the school, and then people are like, why are there so little women in this industry? And I mean, apparently the reason is that we just constantly make it harder to each other and constantly put like extra obstacles in an industry that is already so tough, and it's so hard to get into it and so tough to stay in it.
It's like a gender discrimination in every angle that you try to get yourself into. It's like everywhere you go, it's gender discrimination. Every category. So you eventually had to leave the school, right?
I actually did. This was not the only reason, obviously. But yeah, like I remember specifically my different professor, who was also a woman, by the way, telling me that she has no right to defend me because I was so mean.
Like, I cannot understand the definition of mean, because what you wrote in the letter was you being humiliated in front of an entire class and being treated unfairly. And I mean, if you humiliate somebody without a cause, then you have all rights to apologize. I mean, I don't see the big deal in what you did. You didn't assault her or something. You politely wrote how you felt and sent it.
I mean, even if that email was like a little extra mean, because like I understand that somebody could have taken it like this. Nowhere in the contract that I signed when I was joining the school did it say we have the right to kick you out if we don't like your attitude. It never said that. Like the only reason for you to kick me out is if like my grades are too low or if I didn't give out an assignment, which did happen. So this was so clearly like abusing her power and just manipulating everything that happened.
Yes, I'd agree. I see it as a matter of her abusing her power, because you can't really do much. When they are in charge, trust me, there's a lot that you can go through, there's a lot that you have to put up with. So, saying this, all the disadvantages that was took of her just to get an education as a woman, of course. So, saying this to say that we're also going to move on to why it is that females are always putting each other down, like, especially when they see another female trying. No matter what you're doing, another female is just always trying to put you down, no matter what. So I'd like her to expound on anything that happened to her in regards to any such experience where she has been put down by another female while attempting to make her life better.
Another story that I would want to tell you is when I was 14, I had this time in my life where I was kind of the fat girl wherever I go, like mostly at school, obviously, because that's where you spend most of your time at 14. But anyway, I had the fat girl reputation. And when I turned 14, I started really getting into fitness and like healthy eating. I started making my own food, and very quickly I started losing weight and got very muscular. By the way, I was not actually fat ever in my life. I was just having like a very normal womanly figure in a world where apparently every single girl has to be like borderline anorexic in order to be attractive, and if you had any type of fat on your body, you were supposed to be lazy and ugly and just a waste of a human. Like, I remember hearing this kind of stuff a lot in my life. And as I said, there was a lot of bullying in my school, so trust me, I have heard that I'm fat a lot. So, I remember I started losing weight in June, and then in September I came back to school, and I didn't go through any like over dramatic transformation, but I remember like I had abs, for example. And so there was this one specific girl who had huge trouble with her self-esteem when it comes to looks, because she always talked about how fat she was, and every meal she'd eat, she'd like complain about how fat it's gonna make her, and every time we'd see a mirror, basically, she would start talking about how she should lose weight. So when I actually started losing weight, and she didn't, although she was extremely skinny too, that's, oh my god. Like basically she did this thing where she would really try to encourage me to start eating junk food again.
Wow. And the junk food make you gain, right?
Well, that's the thing, I was very motivated, because like, I was really very much into this healthy lifestyle. I was like, okay, I can have a chocolate bar, but only after I do like workout, and I was like, okay, we can go for ice cream, but only like on a Saturday or something, because that was my cheat meal, I remember. So like it was driving her furious, and I could see that. So like what she'd do is like we'd go to a restaurant, and she'd buy like 4 meals and only eat one of them and like put them in front of my face.
Wow. Why would she do that though? Why would she do that?
Like, listen, jealousy is such a strong, I don't even want to call it an emotion. It's like, it's basically like poison, you know? It poisons your brain and just makes you do horrible stuff constantly. But yeah, she was obviously very jealous, and she would do this thing where like, she would try to stop me from like going to my Zumba lessons because I was doing Zumba. And like, they tried to make me feel like I was looking stupid, or like they would make fun of me when I was doing it, but well, it didn't work out this time. So I remained fit.
You know this was something to improve your overall being, internally and externally, but yet she was trying to discourage you from getting to that goal.
It's really horrible, and I have seen this many times happen to other people, you know, like every single time a friend of mine would start going on a diet, not even to lose weight, just to get healthy. Like, guys, let's stay healthy. That is all we care about, honestly. There would be this one person who would come up to her and be like, why are you doing this? Shouldn't you, like, love yourself the way you are? And yes, obviously, you should love yourself the way you are, but it doesn't mean that you shouldn't take care of yourself and your body, and thus your mind. This should be so obvious. And women do this to each other all the time, and so do men, obviously. So, yeah.
Yes, people definitely try to discourage another from doing something positive. I've seen it firsthand, secondhand, always. Whenever you try to step forward and do something positive, there's always that one person trying to demotivate you, even when they know it's something positive.
Okay, so that was my health story. What was the next thing I wanted to talk about? Oh yes, so the next very interesting subject that I think every single girl over the age of like 17 kind of can see herself in is when I started dating. So I remember I was 17 when I met my boyfriend and when we started dating, and that was the first anything close to a boyfriend that I've ever had in my life. But I was friends with people who apparently had a lot of experience in it. And I was very confused for a few months why all of these people tried to make me feel like dating this specific person, but generally dating, is somehow a bad thing. And they tried to do it in so many different ways. Some were very manipulative and trying to tell me like, you should be a strong woman, you should not like let a man control your life, because if you're dating this guy, then he's definitely gonna control your life.
Okay, one question. So these person that were giving you that advice, did they know this guy much more than you? Like, were they familiar with this guy?
Of course not. We were, it was at school, again, so we all knew each other more or less, right? But I don't think you can say that you know somebody just because he was in your class for a while.
But I understand, because I had a similar experience. Like, I was dating once. I had a friend, and the friend disagreed with the person that I chose, and I lost the friend over that. The friend literally was trying to discourage me not to date this guy, and she stopped being my friend because she thought it was not good for me.
Exactly the same thing happened here. So I remember there was this party of our mutual friends and he really wanted to invite me, but for some reason, like, I think I lost my phone that day, so he asked one of my friends if they could invite me. And they said, oh no, you know what, Flora isn't coming, she's definitely gonna want to spend time with Faden. And I remember I learned after the party already happened, and so I asked my friend, like, why wasn't I there? And he told me the story, and honestly, it was so painful, really, because all of these girls had boyfriends. All of these girls knew how it is to, like, you know, be new to relationships and everything. It just felt so bad on so many levels as well, because these are people that are pretending to be your friends as well. And knowing that somebody that you kind of consider a close person does this kind of thing to you really sucks. It really freaking sucks. But it also went in a different direction. Like, there was this one girl who would just straight up come up to me and say, "Hey, why are you dating this guy? He's like so ugly and stuff." Or he's like so dumb and stuff. And or some people try to like put some weird intention into my face. Like, they were trying to tell me that, I don't know, I'm manipulating him or intriguing him to do something. I don't know, just so much hate.
When it comes down to dating, I think you should have first choice, preference. It should be your choice, because the person might not necessarily be a bad person because they don't have the looks that everyone is looking for, because women tend to go for the guy with the fancy face and the fancy clothes and all that. But not everyone, base their relationship on the outer part of the man. So there's a lot of things that women can look for instead of just the face or the clothing. So I don't think another woman should have the right to come and tell you who you should date based on how they look.
Yeah, like, generally, if you think that you have the right to just come up to somebody and just comment on, like, their life choices without even knowing them properly, you cannot do this. Like, you really shouldn't do that. It makes you such a horrible person. It makes the other person feel bad as well. It's just wrong on so many levels. Just don't do this. Just don't do it. You don't have to do it.
This is the reason why I ask you if these girls were familiar with the guy, like prior. Because for instance, there can be cases where the person might have known the male, like maybe a few years or prior to you meeting him, and know that there are, like, bad stuff, negative stuff where this person is concerned. Nothing is wrong with a friend trying to put you on your guard if they have concrete evidence that this person has a certain thing that would not match up to what you're looking for. There's nothing wrong with telling your friend, like, giving them pointers. I know this about this dude, like, I proof, correct evidence, and all this stuff. Nothing is wrong with that, because you're looking out for your friend in a genuine way, but not because of jealousy. Because some persons know that you can soar, you're gonna be happy, and yeah, it's gonna be better for you, but they don't want that for you, so they try to discourage you. They rather for you to be, by yourself, sad, lonely, and depressed, while they enjoy a romantic lifestyle pleasing to them. That's not good.
And if you do know that a friend of yours might be dating someone that is trouble, talk about this. Be genuine. Anything could be solved via dialogue, but, like, intriguing and just ignoring them and not talking to them, it's not okay. This is hurtful, and this might traumatize this person for a lifetime. Just don't do this. Yeah, actually, I have another story of a friend of mine who there was like a circle of friends, and there was this one girl who was getting a lot of male attention because she was genuinely a very pretty girl, and she was very, like, open-minded, and every time we'd go out she would probably be the one who was getting the most attention. And this one time we were at another friend's party and her cousin was there, and the friend's dad told her to sit next to the cousin, and apparently they started talking and they had really good chemistry and they even danced a little. And that was the end of the friendship. Like, I'm not even kidding you. Like, these two girls were enemies after that party,
Wow. And this all boils down to jealousy, right?
Absolutely, because again, if there was actually something bad happening, like, they could resolve it between each other. But no, like, that night, I remember that so well. I remember that night, like, this one girl just started talking bad about the other behind her back and, like, refusing to invite her to places, and just genuinely constantly like shaming her for getting more attention than the rest of us. Which was bad because it wasn't even her fault. She was just a very pretty girl and a lot of guys wanted to talk to her. Which is horrible too. If you have a pretty friend and you think they're mean because they're pretty, that's not how it works. I know this is kind of what the media is telling you, but this is definitely not the way it works.
Well, if you have a friend and you think she is too pretty for you to handle, then go find yourself an ugly friend then that you can handle. Makes no sense. You're gonna stick around with her and then you being jealous. Come on, like who doesn't want to have a pretty friend? Come on, you are pretty in our own ways, right? I don't mind having pretty friends because I am confident. So it still boils down to how confident you are. I don't care. I'm confident in my own ways. Yeah.
And I don't think that you should compare yourself to your friends in that way in the first place.
Right. I agree. So, have you any experience where you have your friend and there's another friend who disapprove of the relationship and try to get between you? Have you had any situation like that?
Plenty. Honestly, I had plenty. Do you have a story like this?
Well, I do. I do. I have my own experience, like more than once, but I also have a recent experience where a particular female tried to get between my friend and I using lies. Like it destroyed me. For like I couldn't sleep. I didn't know how to process it. I went through it, the highways, the byways. Like I don't understand it, why you would want to destroy a strong bond. I just didn't get it. Like why do females do this kind of stuff?
I'm gonna say this. If you do actually intend to destroy somebody's bond, and you do it with lies and manipulation, please go get help. Really, please go, no, really, go seek some therapy. There's nothing wrong with that, but for God's sake, stop destroying other people just because you were destroyed in your past. This is not fair. This is horrible in every possible way, and you clearly just need someone to help you.
True, I agree. And guess what? It all boils down to jealousy. Women just try to tear each other down, tear each other's apart. Like, why we don't like to see success among other women? Why? I guess I'll never really find an answer to that question, but it's terrible. It's devastating. Oh, we just tear each other down. Like, I like to see women excel. I like to see another woman win. Me personally, I like to see it. I blossom when you bloom. But everyone is not like that.
Well, yeah, these people, again, I'm gonna say it until I die probably, but get some help. If you're one of these people, you have most probably just real self-esteem issues, and again, there's nothing to be ashamed of. It's a very normal thing, it's a very common thing, but it's definitely something you should work on before you can hurt someone else.
I know it's a competitive world. I always say this is a dog eat dog kind of world. But come on, don't you think more women would reach their goal, if we all support each other?
Well, I did have an episode last month, I think, where I was working like supporting a very little thing, basically a beauty salon. And a very cool thing that small businesses like such can do is sort of advertise each other. So you can promote each other on Instagram, you can, print leaflets and share them in each other's salons. Because this is how small businesses grow. And I remember we were trying to seek some help with advertising from a different salon and they just blocked us everywhere. Straight off the bat, they didn't even answer. This is what I'm thinking about, Do not try to see other people as competition. Rather treat them as support.
Definitely. Well, you can actually start a business and your friends will not support you. You might sell the same item, such as a stranger, or you might just do the same thing and they rather to support the stranger versus you. All these things happen, and as you say, it all boils down to one thing. But I strongly believe if we all support each other, then each and every one of us would reach our goal pretty faster than we normally do. I definitely believe that.
Especially since we are aiming towards the same goal. Like if your business is a beauty salon, then you most probably want to make other women feel beautiful and good about themselves. So why would you stop them by basically, you know, putting them no, that doesn't work in English, but why would you stop them from refusing to help them in like the simplest way possible, like sharing something on Instagram? And why would you make someone feel bad by blocking them?
I'm not a blocker, right? So if I block you, it's for peace for me, not because I have hate inside or, you know, I'm being selfish. But there are some people that for the peace, for your peace, because I love my peace, it's best to just get them out of sight. Trust me. But I'm not the blocker, but you have to get rid of some people. All right, so we don't want to make these sessions too long, so we're going to wrap it up with one last question to Flora. I'd like to know, Flora, what annoys you the most? I mean, we've talked about a few things that, yeah, definitely I know they annoys you. Else they wouldn't have, you know, rested on your mind or caused you to feel, you know, frustrated about them. So I just want to know what annoys you the most.
So one thing that I get extra defensive about is slut shaming. But something more specific, slut shaming little girls. Because I know that it's not in everybody's lifetime experience, but lately I've been taking part in a discussion where I brought some attention to the subject of certain things being totally fine when you're 11, and suddenly when you turn 13, you get judged and criticized and oftentimes even punished for them. So, growing up, I remember little girls were totally fine with wearing like short skirts, shorts, you know, crop tops, bright colors, and nobody ever seemed to mind. It was considered cute, it was considered like extra girly and fun. And then when you reach puberty and, you know, you start getting a little bit more of like a feminine shape, people start to notice, and most people will not care to keep their mouth shut. So I remember when I was like about 16, I was very confused about why am I not allowed to wear shorts all of a sudden? And yeah, well, not that I wasn't allowed, because I was, and I did it, but suddenly all these, especially older women, you know, I could hear them like talk about me when I was standing like 2 to 3 feet away from them, or like genuinely people like hinting at me that I'm doing something wrong. And I remember just being like, how is that possible? I'm doing the same thing I was doing at 12 years old, and we're in the middle of the summer, like in a forest, so what could possibly be not okay with like wearing shorts with a crop top?
So it seems like the more you grow is the more you gotta cover up, right?
Yeah, which is crazy. And here's the worst part. All women have been through that phase, but somehow nobody will explain this to you. This is something that you have to figure out on your own, because nobody will explain why all of this random attention that you have never gotten before is coming right at you, and it's aggressive, and you have to like learn to operate it on your own.
I think it has a lot to do with the figure. Like as you grow, as you mature, then all those curves, all those body parts start to form out, and they all looking and paying attention to them. But yes, as you said, somebody should actually explain to you why, instead of just, you know, knocking it right there and you don't understand. You know, just explain to you. You need guidance, because that's how we have to bring up our kids. You know, we have to tell them why and why not.
So yeah, that was our episode on women putting each other down. As we said, we're going to continue this series for quite a while, so if there's something you want us to discuss, definitely let us know in the comments, and see you next time in you will see what. Yeah.
Okay, what annoys me, I don't have much issue when it comes to that. I mean, here in my country, people still, especially the older women, are people that go to church. A certain people will judge you based on what you wear. Well, maybe in the past I would have been in that position because I used to dress. I used to dress in a particular way where my clothes are really short. So yeah, well, I didn't care. Like as a teen or in my early 20s, I didn't really care much what people think or say. So I lived my life the way I wanted to. But so I don't really have much issues with that. But my mom probably she likes to see me more modestly dressed, so she kind of appreciates who I am now versus who I was then. But nonetheless, I enjoy what I did back then. I was exploring. That was me, and yeah. But what annoys me the most is when lies are being told on me. When somebody says something about me that is not true, it annoys me. Anybody knows me would know that I don't like lies. It annoys me. So that is why I'm so blunt. Like I like to say relatively what's on my mind, and sometimes I talk and then think after, like a little bit too blunt, but I'm an honest kind of person. I will tell you exactly what is in my mind. Sometimes maybe too honest, so it might get me in trouble. But I don't like when people tell lies on me, because remember, there can be great consequences for lies. Persons can tell lies on you, and it can also cost you your own life. So it really annoys me when persons tell lies on me. That's what annoys me the most. I can work with anything, but I'll do anything just to clear my name when somebody tells a lie on me. I don't like it. It really annoys me. Pisses me off. And sometimes you don't even get to clear yourself from the lies. That's what even hurts the most. Some you get to clear up, some you don't. But there's something called karma. Thank God.
And I think that's a perfect way to sum it up. Don't lie, guys. Lying is a horrible thing. It hurts you, hurts the other person in the long term.
Right, so ladies, if there's a topic that you want us to talk about, then please let us know in the comment section, or if you know us individually, you can also shoot us a message, because we're going to be doing a few episodes discussing things. It's based mainly on women empowering other women. So let us know if you like the episodes that we have proposed, and like, comment, and share. And thank you for watching.
Love. Okay.